Here, actor hospitalized after adopting Steve Jobs' Fruitarian diet. I could not believe this story because it's true. You ready for this? Ashton Kutcher, whoever he is, a sneer on him. I don't like him. Look at his picture, a snide face on him. Ashton Kutcher was hospitalized days before shooting the upcoming Steve Jobs biopic after adopting the businessman's Fruitarian diet to prepare for the role. The actor plays the lead in a new movie, Jobs, and he did all he could to accurately portray the late Apple chief, even changing his eating plan to include just fruits, nuts, and seeds. However, Kutcher was left doubled over in pain after sticking to the diet and sought medical advice in hospital. He tells the Associated Press the diet can lead to some serious issues. I ended up in the hospital 2 days before we started shooting the movie. He said I was like doubled over in pain. Everything is like. I was like doubled over in pain, and my pancreas levels were completely out of whack, which was completely terrifying considering everything. By the way, Jobs died of complications from pancreatic cancer in 2011. Now, I'm not suggesting, because I'm a trained epidemiologist, that a fruit, nut, and seed diet is going to give you pancreatic cancer. That's not the point. The point is humans are not adapted to eat raw fruits, nuts, and seeds exclusively. Period. End of story. Try a meatball and spaghetti one of these nights. If you are a vegetarian or vegan and you haven't eaten a drop of animal food since 1977, do me a big favor. Go out and have a spaghetti and meatball dinner and a glass of red wine and get back to me and tell me you don't feel better. You know, years ago in 1978, when I first got out of graduate school, I got my PhD from Berkeley, I became a nutritional practitioner. I was one of the few people who actually had a real degree from a great university, so I knew something about the field. So I went on. You won't believe this story. Did you ever hear this story? It's night radio. Let me entertain you. It's all true, and it's digressive. It's interesting to me now. I'm starting to get my pace back. See, like white knuckles every night with Obama. Every night's like a horror with Obama. You don't know what he's going to do next, what he's going to take away from us next. The guns, the Second Amendment. Speech, he's attacking Rush Limbaugh. That's the First Amendment. Anyone who disagrees with the First Amendment. What's next? What's he going to do next? Seize our bank accounts? If we save money all our life, it's his money too? You see what the bum did with the Sandy aid, those corrupt politicians in New York? $50 billion. You know how much of it's going to go for Sandy aid? Ask Schumer how much of it's going to grift. How much of that $50 billion for Sandy aid is going to actually help the people who got hit by Sandy? How much is going to go up the schnozola of half the politicians and the unions in that city? Unbelievable to me. By the way, that $50 billion was every dime that Obama just grifted out of the rich in America. Every penny of the money that Obama just stole from people who earn real money with an increased tax rate went up in smoke with the Sandy aid tack on to the budget. Gone like that. That's what $50 billion is. If you tax the rich people at 100% of their income, you know how long it would last? Around 12 minutes at the rate of spending of King Ludwig II there in the White House. So I was talking about fruits, nuts, and seeds, right? Yeah, and then I went back to 1978, came out of Berkeley, had my PhD, so I became a nutritional doctor in essence. I worked as a nutritional practitioner on a houseboat in Sausalito, California. I'll never forget it. It was like a bright beginning. It didn't pan out for me because I didn't care for it that much. I don't like listening to people fetching about their problems. Nevertheless, there was a medical doctor there who was a acupuncturist, terrific guy, first-rate medical degree and an acupuncturist, great guy, died young, had a heart attack in his 40s. He was a smoker, very heavy. He was fit, too. He's a good shot. I don't want to mention his name because I'm not trying to knock him. Died. Then there was a girl in there, a doctor. She was another acupuncturist. I don't know if she's still living, but she was a heavy, heavy smoker. And the booze, man, they hit the booze pretty good, the homeopathists. You don't know that. I never met a homeopathist I didn't like. I mean, to take off on Lenny Bruce. They're very into, like, drinking and having a good time. You think homeopathy, like priests of some kind. They're not. They're party animals. Every conference, a homeopathy conference, is they're sticking needles in their arm, and I think they're sticking needles in their arm. But nevertheless, so I was a nutritional practitioner. I had one of the patients I got, again, I can't mention her name because she's deceased. She was thrown off a cliff or fell off a cliff from her husband. I can't mention any more than that. They say she fell. I have another. She came to see me. I will not say where she lived in the Bay Area. She was married to a fairly well-to-do businessman, But she had a problem. She was constipated, and she had other problems. I can't tell you any more than that. That's all you need to know. Very good-looking woman in her 40s, well-dressed, wealthy, nice car, nice house, nice shoes, nice lipstick, nice nails, nice toenails. So she's, look, I have a problem. I'm constipated. I have no energy. What can I do? So I said, tell me your diet. She said, I'm a vegetarian, and I don't drink. I said, well, tell me your husband's diet. She said, oh, he's Italian. She said, he eats everything and he drinks wine. So I said to her, Miss, would you do me a favor? Would you eat like your husband eats for 2 days and give me a call Monday? Comes raging back to the houseboat on Monday. I can't believe it. She said, I'm better. She ate a piece of meat. She drank a glass of wine. Her body opened up again. So what am I saying to you? Eat like a pig? No, I didn't say that. But here's another story showing you what fad diets can do to people. Ashton Kutcher hospitalized as he prepares for Steve Jobs' biopic. He eats what Steve Jobs ate, fruits, nuts, and seeds. He gets doubled over in pain. And his pancreas levels were completely out of whack. You eat fruits and nuts and seeds, but not exclusively. You're not a bird. When did you become a pigeon? What do you need, the newspaper in the cage to go along with it? Where do they get these diets from? I've listened to people all my life. They come up with ideas you cannot believe. Now, the latest fad is now everyone thinks that they discovered the Holy Grail. I'm eating gluten-free. I've lost 50 pounds. I've never been strong. Okay, great. If you're a celiac, you don't eat wheat. We understand that. But mankind survived on wheat for thousands of years, since wheat was cultivated in the Middle East. Mankind lives on bread. Everything about bread is wonderful. Pancakes, tortillas, from Mexico to Egypt, from Thailand, everyone makes wheat-based products. They do fabulously well with them. All of a sudden, the American discovers that they're gluten-free. They lost weight and they feel good. Good for you. And then another one eats fruits, nuts, and seeds. That's all he eats. And they look emaciated like a corpse. So be careful. Stop with the fad diets. Would you rather I do this, or would you rather I talk about politics and immigration?